Allianz Arena in Bavaria. But earlier today, we saw Napoli beat Bayern Munich, the hosts, 2-0 in the third-place playoff. That's Bayern's third defeat in a row, 2 in 2 days. And they didn't even score. Giaccherini did. Lovely finish from him. Some awful defending, though, from Bayern in the last couple of days. And they're not in their host final for the first time in its history. But with us, though, in the studio, they haven't gone anywhere. They've tried to, but I've pulled them back. Paul Ince and Robbie Fowler, who, of course, played for Liverpool. Just recap for us, for people who perhaps didn't see it, just how good Liverpool were last night. Yeah,
they were very good. Offensively, they were rock solid. Defensively, which is probably one of the questions that get asked about Liverpool quite a lot. They answered every question Bayern threw at them. They were very good.
Where do you draw the line between Bayern being poor and Liverpool being excellent?
No, I think we must admit Bayern were poor, but only because Liverpool made them look poor. That's the only reason why. But, you know, I agree with Robbie. Offensively, they were fantastic. Salah's only been there 2 minutes, seems to fit into the way Klopp wants to play. I think it's exciting times ahead.
That's good. Well, let's have a look at the team tonight. It is very, very different to the one that played last night. Only 2 players are starting once again. They are Emre Can in the middle of the pitch and Sadio Mane, who managed 45 minutes last night. So Dom Solanke starts up front, young Ben Woodburn as well, and a totally different defence, of course. Milner coming back from a knock, Flanagan starting in place of the 2 very impressive fullbacks last night, Moreno and young Trent Alexander-Arnold. And Danny Ward in goal for Liverpool. This is how Atletico Madrid line up. 11 changes for them from last night. So Griezmann and Torres are on the bench, as is Savic. I think some of the Liverpool forwards will be quite happy about that, bearing in mind some of these savage challenges from him and from Godin, who was actually sent off last night towards the end of the game. He could have been sent off a lot earlier, couldn't he? There were so many crunching challenges in that game. What on earth was going on with all these tackles flying and dangerous ones as well? Yeah,
they were. I just think, as I said before the game, I think it's the Simeone team. You know, the way he played, I played against him many times back in the day, and that was the type of player that he was. He'd get stuck in, you know. But saying that, sometimes they can play football. I think Godin and Savic maybe took it a little bit too serious. Some of the tackles were a bit naughty. Tackles that you don't expect to see in pre-season games.
They've only got one way of playing, haven't they? You know, it doesn't matter. It's pre-season. You know, these are players who want to win, and they want the forwards to know that they're in the game.
They knew all right, didn't they? Yeah. They knew all right.
If they did it to you, you wouldn't be happy, would you? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. We're talking about forwards. Daniel Sturridge, so unfortunate. He came off the bench, scored an absolutely beautiful goal, and then probably pulled up and went off. He says it's not too serious, but he can't start now.
I think he's got a slight thigh strain, but, you know, he doesn't really comfortable sprinting on the ball. But if you look at the goal, you know, as much as the finish is unbelievable, I think he just alters his stride pattern just as he's about to, and, you know, a little slight strain. And you know what, I feel for him, because he's worked hard this pre-season. As a player, you want to get through pre-season all the time, you know, without any ill effects, without any no injuries. And he's been good. You know, he's done everything I've asked of him. You know, he's trained every single day. And, you know, I actually feel for him. You know, he's a good player, and he deserves a little bit of luck.
Well, Dominic Solanke does start tonight. Players signed ultimately for around £3 million due to the tribunal setting the fee from Chelsea. He never played in the Premier League for them, 19 years of age. What have you made of him? Good player,
I like him. He's obviously still very young, but you'll see here he can score goals, all types of goals. And I think, I'm not saying he's going to be a replacement for Sturridge, because there was talk about Sturridge leaving, but, you know, I think he's a different striker to a lot of strikers that we're seeing at the moment. You know, he knows where the goal is. He puts himself in the right position. He doesn't always want to come to the ball. He looks to spin off and get down the channels, and, you know, he makes it hard for defenders to defend against him. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays today.
He was named as best player in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, which England won, of course. And a few half-decent players over the year that won that.
Some decent names, isn't it? I think if he goes on to have a career as good as some of them players, then, you know, Liverpool... potentially signing a gem.
Yeah, they could well do, but the fact that he didn't get in at Chelsea, I mean, those are the Youth Cup pictures that we showed there, because that's where his opportunity came at Chelsea. Would you expect him to be a potential star there, or is it simply far too early to tell?
I think it's too early. You know, I think, you know, we look at a lot of Chelsea players, especially the young kids, who don't get a chance to, you know, establish themselves in the first team. And I think it's a really great bit of business from Liverpool to snatch him up. I think under the tuition of Klopp, I think he'll learn a lot of things. And, you know, I think in time, you know, he can score goals. You know, as I said, I think in time he could be a very, very good player. You
know what's good about the fact is that he's left Chelsea, not because he's gone to Liverpool. The fact is that he's backed himself. You know, he wants to leave. You know, he doesn't feel as though he'll get a good chance, you know, at Chelsea, and he feels as though he might get a better opportunity elsewhere. And look, you can't, you know, fault the lad for wanting to do that. I think that's refreshing. You know, too many times we talk about young players wanting to go to these clubs, you know, and sit on the bench and collect the wages. He's backing himself
and keep
you know,
signing new contracts, staying where they're not getting selected. Loftus-Cheek. That's been levelled at him. Sadio Mane was fantastic last night. He's coming back from injury, of course. He starts again tonight. How do you see this front three or four shaping up for Liverpool?
I think it's a different than what we saw last night, but, you know, it's just more minutes under his belt. I think he's a fantastic player. I think Liverpool missed him a lot towards the back end of the season when he got injured, and it just gives you so many different things. You know, he can beat players, he can run in behind players, he can come short. You know, his awareness is unbelievable here. You've got Moreno bombing down the left. This is where they get their second goal. Salah just pops it in at the far post. They've got so many, with him, they've got so many different dynamics with him. And I think Klopp would be so pleased with having him back in the team. I think their second goal, Salah just pops it in at the far post. They've got so many, with him, they've got so many different dynamics with him. And I think Klopp would be so pleased with having him back in the team. I think tonight you're going to see a different formation in the fact you've got Woodburn out there and, you know, Solanke. I think it's a different kind of dynamics. You haven't got the rotation that you're going to get what we saw last night against Bayern Munich, but I still think they're going to be dangerous. When you've got him the side, they're always going to be dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, coming up next, we'll have full coverage of the Audi Cup final live from Munich, and we'll hear from Liverpool's manager, Jurgen Klopp.
You okay with that?
Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
Hey Siri, read my schedule. Rock.
Hey Siri, take a selfie.
You want to see more of The Rock and Siri? Just grab your iPhone and say, hey Siri, what are you and The Rock up to?
I was online, browsing a shopping website, just killing some time before turning in for the night, but I kept seeing all of these passionate 5-star reviews by someone called Steve_1962. He'd reviewed a printer, a scanner, a pink mini fridge, a 1,000-piece jigsaw of the Golden Gate Bridge, a multi-pack of miniature handheld food blenders, a pair of industrial ear defenders, a packet of 66-centered gel pens, a box set of every single series of Friends on VHS, some lipstick, a Pritt stick, a box of 40 selfie sticks, a 1,000-page book about the history of the Bolsheviks. Anyway, I don't know what happened. I got carried away. I was tired. I ordered the lot and it's all just arrived. My girlfriend's gonna kill me.
Every match on Sky Sports and BT Sport. This is football from Virgin Media.
I just sold my car to my local WeBuyAnyCar.com instead of trading it in. And I'm going to use this lovely wad of cash to get a better deal on my next car. But first, I'm going to do this.
Change the way you sell your car. Enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com, the UK's favourite car buying service.
At Booking.com, you'll find a wide range of accommodation. From sun-drenched holidays to weekend getaways for every possible budget. And if you have to cancel, cancel. Most of the time it's free. And you can always book again. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
Tower will fall.
I'm coming to get you. The Dark Tower.
Hey Siri, take a selfie. Hope it don't cause an eclipse.
Gale warning issued 2042 UTC.
Mike, can we make sure we avoid this low pressure to the east? There's a force 9 approaching. Right, prep the engines and stand by. Roger that.
Rescue 1, ETA, 4 minutes.
Ready to take on the world. The Women's Rugby World Cup starts next Wednesday at 1:30 on ITV4.
Oh, there's my car.
Oh, good weekend.
Oh, thank you very
Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
The Liverpool manager has made 9 changes from the side that thumped Bayern Munich in their own backyard last night, now ahead of the Audi Cup final at the Allianz Arena. Jurgen Klopp has been talking to Lindsay Hooper.
2 games in 2 days, you need to mix up the lineup. That's what we do. We had a few game players which were not involved yesterday. When we tested this morning, we had a little session this morning, so we made a few tests. So we have more options, and that's what we want to use. It's important for all of them that they have test games on this highest level, and today it's another big challenge and a completely different job to do against Atletico Madrid, one of the most difficult to play sides in world football, because their intensity in their game is so high. They're so smart. They defend deep. They defend high. They play with long balls. They have football players. They have speed to come in behind with Griezmann. They are tall in set pieces. So that's really a job to do. And so we brought in a few fresh legs.
Yes, we did see yesterday what they were made of, but in terms of your finishing yesterday, you must have been really impressed. Do you hope to see more of that?
Yeah, always, always. Yeah, but that's not that I can wish things. Like the boys have the quality, and so with the scoring, you always need a little bit of luck. It's on 1 inch on your foot. That's what makes a difference. And yesterday, we were really sharp in these situations. Finished the game, if you want, early. Could have finished already even earlier, and so I was fine with the performance. But what I said after the game is true. So we were not brilliant. How it sounds, if you play against Bayern, win 3-0, usually you need to be brilliant. Yesterday it was not necessary. Bayern have problems. They came 2 days before from China back, and that's really hard, to be honest. I know that. And so for yesterday it was enough, but we need to be better. We will see if we can tonight.
Better. It'd be hard to see them being any better than they were last night. But for the record, Liverpool saying that Coutinho, Salah, Lovren and Moreno all rested tonight before anybody panics about where Coutinho in particular might be. But Paul, you're not too happy with the number of changes, the fact that 9 of them tonight.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm not too happy. I understand from a manager's point of view, everyone's got to get their minutes. Everyone's, I know with all these sports scientists now, you've got to play maybe 270 minutes, before the season starts. But I just like, when you've got that fluidity that we saw last night with the top 4, we saw it with Napoli. They played 4 of their star players again today from attacking point of view, and we were purling over how great they were, Liverpool. But that top 4, I'd just like to see them do that again today. It is the final. Obviously Liverpool feel they've got a strong enough team to go and win the final, but I'd like to see the way they played yesterday was fantastic. I don't think you're going to get that with the top 4, no disrespect, that's playing up there today.
And Robbie, would you expect this to be a very different type of game tonight?
Yeah, totally different. I think yesterday, Liverpool were perfectly happy letting Bayern have the ball and maybe counter-attacking But, you know, as much as Atletico had 11 changes, the ethos and mentality of the players under Simeone will be the same, you know, to defend deep, keep nice and compact. So I think the onus now is on Liverpool to go out there. You know, at times last year that was one of the questions that were asked about Liverpool a lot. You know, can they break teams down, struggle at times? So this is a real good test for them. You know, totally different from yesterday.
It will be, and we shall find out how it pans out through proper cameras, probably, not the one in that little boy's cap. Straight after this break, the Audi Cup finals coming up next.
Gallon of glass.
Gallon of glass.
2-inch brush.
2-inch brush.
9-inch roller.
9-inch roller.
And a Qiwi 2.
A Qiwi.
Johnston's Decorating Centres sponsors evenings on ITV4.
Gale warning issued 204.
Hey, Mike, avoid this low pressure. Last known coordinates 02345.
This is Rescue 1, ETA 4 minutes.
With the best odds on all English football, you get more with Betfair. More of the good stuff. More of the big time. More last-minute winners. And more of the uncompromising. Get more from Betfair with the best odds on all English football. Are you ready for more?
Those? What are those? Ah.
Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
The action is about to get underway in the Allianz Arena. Liverpool hoping to lift some pre-season silverware. Your commentators for the evening are Matthew Upson and first, good evening, Clive Tildesley.
It's rather hot, steamy, stormy sort of a day in Munich again, not quite as sultry as yesterday, nearing 8:45 local time now, and the temperature gauge still touching 26 degrees, probably a little warmer around him. Not quite as warm as it is in Madrid, considerably warmer than it is on Merseyside. We've got Germany's top referee, Felix Brick, in charge. And I've got Matthew Upson alongside me. Have you ever played twice in successive days?
Once in a pre-season at Torquay and then Yeovil, a little bit different to the Audi Cup.
Not in your younger days then?
No, I was 33 and I've got to say the body found it very difficult, so I can understand the rotation.
Well, just two players out there who started last night's matches, both in Liverpool red, mistake there by John Flanagan, but both Emre Can and Sadio Mane start again. Atletico Madrid have made 11 changes. They're in the yellow shirts this evening. Their left back is Sergi. Two quite lightweight, skillful forwards in Angel Correa and Luciano Vieto, which will provide a different sort of a challenge for the Liverpool centre-back pairing of Ragnar Klavan and Joe Gomez. Klavan watching that one carefully. James Milner, who's playing for the first time in 11 days since picking up a muscle injury in the final of the Asia Trophy. But has played his pre-season football again at left back. There's little Correa, who has apparently been on Liverpool's transfer radar during the summer, the number 11. The Salako with the long throw-in. There was a foul on Chan at the near post. What impressed you about Liverpool on opening night, Matthew?
Their front four. I think we've alluded to it in the studio and a lot's been made of it, but the way Liverpool set up and the attacking four that Jurgen Klopp went with was really, really successful last night and gave Bayern no end of trouble. You know, the movement of Mane and Salah, the energy they had. It'll be interesting to see Mane tonight and whether he can produce that kind of energy again.
Back on the right flank this evening. Mo Salah's arrival will probably mean a switch of wings for much of the season to come, but Ben Woodburn is starting in front of James Milner on this side. Emre Can is the anchorman in midfield, with Lallana to his right and Wijnaldum to his left. Here is the young goalkeeper Danny Ward getting involved for the first time during this pre-season with Liverpool. Atletico have their shadow goalkeeper Miguel Angel Moya on duty. And Liverpool typically have won the ball right up the field with Adam Lallana.
Something that Liverpool do brilliantly, I have to say. Out of possession, they're probably the best team to watch.
Most difficult to play against. Woodburn to Wijnaldum. Gomez to Flanagan. Joe Gomez has been tried at right back in a couple of pre-season games, but he is a centre-back by preference. And that's a poor pass from Gomez. And an equally poor response from Correa. And Gomez got away with a howler there.
Very fortunate indeed. Quite a sloppy pass in, and equally as bad pass from Correa. Drawn by Woodburn. And Solanke came for the same ball. Tidied up by Jimenez. It's a missed kick by him. Up by Lucas, but Chan will find Milner. Woodburn. Which looks as if it could do with a bit of rain. In actual fact, it looks a little slower than it was last night when Diego Simeone's team came from behind to beat Napoli in the other semi-final. But a completely different Atletico team this evening. Here's Sergi. And 12 is Augusto Fernandez. Sergi has done well to find his way past Flanagan, and Wijnaldum is there to tidy up for Liverpool. Firm headed by Lucas Hernandez. Vieto scored the winner against Napoli from the bench. And his claim to the ball. Klavan's header is an important one. Liverpool just a little sloppy in possession. Woodburn was caught on that occasion by Thomas Partey. Yeah, Liverpool will want to tidy it up a little bit at the moment. It's a little bit sloppy. Some of the passes, the shape. You know, when you make that many changes, it takes a little bit of a settling in period into the game.
Woodburn selling Milner short. Shinobu Sadako with the throw-in. Vieto putting Klavan under pressure. Milner. Solanke trying to pull it on the chest. It might just run here for Adam Lallana, who forces Lucas to go back to his goalkeeper. Salako's header and keep the ball in. Liverpool squad have been on the road for much of the last 3 weeks in Hong Kong, where they beat Crystal Palace and Leicester City to win the Premier League's Asia Trophy. Then here to a training camp in Germany, and then 3 games now in 5 nights. They beat Hertha in Berlin 3-0 on Saturday. They beat Bayern 3-0 here in Munich last night. They will play one more warm-up game in Dublin this coming Saturday against Athletic Bilbao. That's a 5:15 kickoff in Ireland, and their Premier League campaign begins a week on Saturday at Watford. That's a lunchtime kickoff on August the 12th. Vieto. From Correa and by Klavan. Lallana to Mane.
There's a big difference in Atletico's shape to Bayern's yesterday. Those areas where Mane would receive the ball there on the halfway line last night, they were getting so much joy running at Bayern, and you can tell straight away that Atletico, they're dropping back in, they're getting their shape. It's going to be a different challenge to break down the team.
Milner is trying to help him first time into Woodburn's path. And it's the challenge that Liverpool struggled with really last season. They were much more comfortable in games against teams who were prepared to attack them, against whom they could counter, than they were against sides who looked to defend deep and shut up shop. Augusto Fernandez. Cronavita. Salako. Lucas Hernandez. It's awkward for Katie Barry. There's Correa though. Klavan almost accidentally intercepting.
It's quite a good interception in the end. I know it's accidental, but he just got his body in the right position, which is sometimes all you need to do.
Played in a lot of important wins last season, Ragnar Klavan. A little run in the team in March into April. He was in the side that beat Arsenal, the team that won at Stoke. Never established as a first-choice Liverpool centre-back. An experienced cover. Flag is up here against Jimmy Vasalako.
It's important to have that quality of cover throughout a league season, especially with European football and the amount of matches. It's important that those players are in tune and aware of the team's philosophy and formation, and can step in and do a solid job in big games.
Vasalako was looking along the line there, probably shouldn't have been caught offside. Gomez. Mane. Woodburn. It's an interesting ball in and flicked on by Solanke, and only just wide. He's already looking a bonus, Dominic Solanke.
Nice check back and lovely whipped ball in, great angle and height, and always on the move, Solanke, you know, arriving in that area exactly where you want your centre forward to be, arriving in the middle of the box with speed. And nice glancing header, just not quite enough contact to guide it into that far post.
Clever header. I mean, 19 years of age, he looked like a signing for the future, but the present is already very much providing opportunities for Dominic Solanke. He's taken a couple already in Liverpool colours during the pre-season. Flanagan did enough. Lallana's skill seemed to defeat the two Atletico players. I'm not quite sure why he didn't get a free kick there. Katie Barry. Cronavita. Correa. He was under pressure. Fairly flimsy pressure, but he's won a free kick.
Liverpool are going to be hard done by with Lallana not winning a free kick, and the referee awarding one there because they were on the counter-attack. It was a loose pass, and Woodburn was running straight at the back four.
This is the man who took charge of the Champions League final in Cardiff this year, so he knows what he's doing. Doesn't mean we have to agree with every decision he gives. This is Jimenez, the centre-back. Away by Klavan, but only as far as Thomas. And Woodburn eventually sorting it out. Side flag up.
There's a lot of loose balls at the moment, quite a few balls popping out of challenges and what have you. It's who can get hold of the ball and really take control.
Liverpool were a goal up against Bayern this stage already last night. They made a very smooth beginning to that match. A little untidier tonight.
It's more the tempo Liverpool started at last night. They were out of the blocks, and before Bayern could blink, really, they were hitting them on the counter-attack pace.
Lallana. Mane. Jurgen Klopp has said that Mane here and Salah will set the tempo for Liverpool this season. And that's the case. It's going to be a pretty quick one. Mane is free here. It's conjured across, and Woodburn has space. But he did come under some pressure at the very last moment from Basalico and couldn't control the volley.
Really good play here from Lallana. He wanted to lay it down the line, but realised it was covered and took an extra touch, dinked a nice ball to the back post, and nice shape from Woodburn there. You know, technically, he's made good contact with the ball, just under a little bit of pressure there that put him off, I think, at the end.
He came on the left side of the attack last night for the final 15 minutes. He has played most of his junior football as a striker or as a support striker, but he has been deployed as a midfield player in the last few weeks by Jurgen Klopp. It's the time of the year for looking at different things, different positions. Correa escaped Gomez momentarily. Good recovery by Joe Gomez. Here is Ben Woodburn. Still, let us not forget, just 17 years of age.
It's great for him to play different positions as well. You know, as a player, it really makes you well-rounded. The more positions you can play and experience at a high level, it's going to make you a better player where you eventually end up settling.
Mane has found Solanke. Milner couldn't resist. A lot of yellow shirts between him and the target. Woodburn, Wijnaldum. And well, Gini Wijnaldum. Here's Ben Woodburn and James Milner. Just over the head of Solanke that time. Liverpool starting to get some cohesion into their play.
There's a good understanding in tight areas with Liverpool. The players, they're moving the ball, tight areas, lots of different changes of direction and movement. It's impressive to see in the attacking third.
Jurgen Klopp had only qualified praise for last night's performance. He said Liverpool can do much better. Felt there were times when Bayern had too much of the ball and passed through Liverpool. What he might be particularly pleased with is one goal conceded in the 4 matches against top-flight opposition on tour so far. Defence is perceived to be Liverpool's weak suit. Mane can't afford to lose it there. But they defend as a team, don't they, Matthew? They defend right from the front.
When you defend from the front, it is a team game, and their attacking players, you know, they really do carry their weight defensively. But the best in the Premier League, especially from last season. So, you know, it's a huge asset for the back four to know that the players in front of you are going to work as hard as what they do and cover the ground that they cover. It just makes your life easier.
Dan Lovren was saying last night that Liverpool centre-back plays almost as a midfield player because they defend so high. He spends so much time in this part of the field. Chandler just overhit that for Milner.
It's great as well because as centre-back you can have the ball higher up the pitch and you can be a little bit more creative with your passing and have more of an influence on the game.
It depends what kind of centre-back you are, but... Wijnaldum. Woodburn seeing a lot of the ball. Solanke. Milner. Control again from Lallana. Really does have it on a string. Flanagan getting beyond Mane. Gomez looking to switch it to Milner, but it was a bit of a fight ball in the end.
The one advantage Klavan does have is he has a nice left foot and it always gives a nice balance to the team when the left side centre-back can play with his left foot and hit those diagonal balls and open up the pitch a little bit.
What position did you play? The left side centre-back.
Left-footed.
Mane towards Solanke. Plenty off Dominic Solanke, 6'1". Insists his best position is as a number 9. Number 29 in the Liverpool squad, but it's the area of the field that he wants to play. The news of Daniel Sturridge today is pretty good. He hasn't had a scan. He felt some discomfort in his thigh after scoring the 3rd goal last evening, but it isn't considered to be a serious injury. Divock Origi is unavailable through injury at the moment, as is Nathaniel Klein. They're the only 3 on the injured list. Danny Ings is making his way back, just short of match fitness at the moment. The other absentees are all being rested. Solanke conceding a free kick.
Be good to see Danny Ings back playing again. He's had such a poor run of luck with injury, and it'd be great to see him back fit and playing.
Pre-season results are what they are. A year ago, Liverpool put 4 past Barcelona at Wembley. They were top of the Premier League by the start of November. First half of last season could hardly have gone an awful lot better. First time volley difficult for Katie Barry to control.
It'll be interesting to see how that differs with Liverpool this season. I think that's the big talking point for Jurgen Klopp's team, and how well they're going to weather into the January-February period when you really are being tested physically if you've been playing a high-tempo game from the start of the season.
Yeah, they were second to Chelsea at the turn of the year, and with no European distractions. But the first month of 2017 was full of distractions and disappointments. Mane there went off to play for his country in Africa, and from that point onward, securing the 4th Champions League spot became the only priority, and to be honest, a bit of a slog in the end. Mane does wind opponents up, just with his sheer competitiveness. I don't think that Jose Maria Jimenez has helped him much in that instance.
Bit of a needless yellow card, wasn't it? I don't really quite see the need or why he was booked there, to be honest. Just
that's what the referee took exception to.
I suppose you just can't raise your hands in anywhere near the opponent's faces. It's a straight yellow card.
That's well won by Lallana again. Solanke into the path of Mane. Hacked away by Kranovita.
You see that high tempo pressing from Liverpool again, nearly created a goal scoring opportunity from nothing.
Liverpool getting the decision on the far side too. Correa, seen by Chan. On towards Woodburn. Chan winning it strongly again. Here's Solanke. Lallana now to Mane. Flanagan with a chance to pick a cross towards Solanke, headed away though by Matthijs Kranovita. Some building pressure now from Liverpool. Milner to Solanke, showing well again. Thomas able to run the ball away and being dragged back by James Milner. And another yellow card.
I think he knew what he was doing there, James Milner. He just got caught the wrong side, and he nearly concealed it well just by holding on to his arm there underneath his own arm, but as you can see, it is a yellow card.
Licking arm, certainly in competitive games, and I suppose Felix Brick is going to referee this one as if it were a Champions League match. It's not necessarily the way in all these pre-season games. Mane's still giving him an earful, which is probably not the best idea. Certainly the conclusion of Atletico's match last night against Napoli was very fiery indeed. Diego Godin was sent off. Augusto Fernandes. Salaka. To Salako. First touch isn't perfect. You know that a Liverpool player is going to be able to put you under pressure immediately, and Salako had to take evasive action and concede a free kick.
Atletico find it very difficult to get hold of the ball and play with the ball in the middle of the park at the moment. The way Liverpool is set up and the pressure they apply, they've got to start to create a few more overloads and get some bodies in the middle of the park, some 1-2s, and kind of get something going.
The voice of Matthew Upson watching the Audi Cup final here from Munich. Liverpool's second pre-season match here in Munich in successive nights, and a much changed Liverpool team. Taking time to settle, but taking the game to Atletico Madrid. All the officials are German, so he can communicate with them as freely as he likes. I think his German's pretty good, Jurgen Klopp. Solanke now to Chan. Lallana. Wijnaldum to Milner. Well, he was drifting in late at the far post, and the ball only just drifted beyond him.
It's a Great run from those wide areas. Always difficult to pick up as a full-back or centre-back when the wide player makes that run straight into the middle of the box from wide.
It's interesting, lack of width was directed as a criticism of Liverpool at times last season. There's a lot of excitement about the wing play of Salah and Mane, but they don't necessarily bring natural width. They're probably as much goal-scoring as goal-creating wide men, aren't they?
Definitely. Mane in particular, and especially if he, depending on what side he plays on, you know, he started on the left last night, and coming inside was very dangerous.
The Salako has got free momentarily. It needed an important intervention from Gomez. Milner was just defeated for a second there by the right back. Yeah, it's not heels on the chalk width necessarily that Mane and Salah are going to give you, but the development of Trent Alexander-Arnold and the promise perhaps that Andrew Robertson offers are fullbacks who will get forward and provide that when Liverpool need it. Milner's a little hamstrung sometimes, having to try to get the ball onto his more natural right foot.
Yeah, he's not going to naturally flow down the left wing and cross on the run with his left foot. So, yeah, it does take the kind of pace that you can attack at. But, you know, the two wide players, Mane and Salah, they will come inside. They will be a goal threat, and it does open up for the fullback to get on the outside and have a creative contribution to the team.
Do you think Liverpool can afford to play both and a forward like Firmino, or is that too many attacking players for big Premier League matches against the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City?
I think a lot of that depends on how they set up in the central midfield players, and whether or not they recruit somebody who's an out-and-out defensive midfield player, a ball winner, somebody who's going to sit in there and be a rock for the team, and a pivot that everything can go off. I think that type of player, which I believe Jurgen Klopp's looking at, you know, would be a great asset for them and allow the fullbacks to maybe dip their toe in the attacking side of it a little bit more.
Interesting to try to second-guess Jurgen Klopp's team at Watford a week on Saturday, bearing in mind that Liverpool will have a very important Champions League playoff game 3 or 4 days after that. The draw for the Champions League playoff round, incidentally, is at about 11 AM UK time on Friday. Gomez and Carbonara got away with that. Wijnaldum to Milner. Woodburn unable to escape the Salako. Lallana doing well again. He was just unbalanced there. Free kick given against Kedi Barek. Mane, Lallana. Flanagan. Mane. Found a cross and a good one too. Jimenez had to improvise. Cham tried a spectacular volley. Correa can't escape.
I don't think anyone expected Mane to be able to deliver that ball from where he was. I mean, he's so sharp. When he stands a player up and stands him still and then goes, he always gets that half a yard. And to squeeze it in from that angle, and in the area that he delivered the ball in there was a great ball in the box. Just a shame nobody anticipated it coming in.
Caught attackers and defenders by surprise. Jurgen Klopp said last night he needs playing time. He says he's not where he can be fitness-wise as yet. Sadio Mane. A little far off. It's a foul by Chan on Thomas Partey. Chan's played in that central role a couple of times now. Wijnaldum has a couple of times. Henderson has a couple of times. It's a key position, the hub of the Liverpool team. Particularly if they're unable to complete the deal for Leipzig's Naby Keita, which now seems to be the case. This is Angel Correa. Barry, Augusto Fernandez, Salako still forward. It's a good cross and a really good save by Ward, but he can't keep out the second effort. Katie Barry gives Atletico the lead after an astonishing stop by Danny Ward. And it's Diego Simeone's team that take the lead with one of his untried youngsters, 19-year-old Albanian Katie Barry, finding the net.
It's a classic case of Atletico not really having much of the game and sitting back, but when they've struck, they've done it with real quality. It's a great crossfield ball and a fantastic first-time ball on the volley into the box, and what a save. But I have to say, the reaction here, Liverpool were just a little bit on their heels. When that ball, I think everyone was expecting it to go in. When that ball came back off the crossbar, needed to see a bit more of a reaction here on the second ball there from Klavan. He just gets caught standing still. Barry's on the move, and there's only one winner in that situation.
Yeah, Danny Ward deserved better for the save that he made from Correa. He deserved a better reaction from the defenders in front of him.
Absolutely.
And that's the man who reacted quickest. Katie Barry. Only 15 minutes of senior experience to his name in a Spanish Cup tie last year, staking his claim in these pre-season matches and registering the first goal of the Audi Cup final.
But you can understand how when Jurgen Klopp in his interview referred to Atletico Madrid as a difficult challenge. You know, even with these many changes, the players understand the system and what's required of them so well that they're soaking up pressure. They'll sit deep, then they'll step up the pitch and move forward. You know, they've attacked with real quality there. And, you know, when you play against teams like that, it's very, very difficult.
Vieta. She hasn't got a foot on the ball. It can almost be more disheartening to concede the first goal when you've had the better of the match than if you've been totally outplayed. Here's Correa, who was foiled by Ward's acrobatics.
Definitely, because it has that element of the opposition feeling like we haven't really even got going yet and we're 1-0 up. So for Liverpool, it's a test for them now mentally if they can get on top of the game and raise it.
And a good test, because there were too many home games last season with their fans liking where they did concede the first goal and then it became an almighty struggle for them, a test of patience both for players and fans to wear down their opponents. Very obdurate opponents this evening. Header on by Correa towards Vieto. That's Klavan. It's a real test of a defender's instincts to be able to follow a ball in like that with the same appetite to get to it as a striker who's looking for a goal for himself.
Definitely, that's strikers survive on bits and scraps like that. You know, top strikers, they're always on the move, and I think as a defender, the moment you stand still, you're leaving it to chance, and it's exactly what Klavan did. He just had a momentary lapse where he stood still and got caught.
Lana finding Mane, forced away by Thomas. A couple of good combinations now between Lallana and Mane, very much on the same wavelength. For a better reaction to those crosses. So Matthias Kranavita is in some discomfort, and he was caught there by Sadio Mane. It was a reckless lunge at the ball. Looked like a bit more of a scrape as opposed to a catch your studs in the turf and really roll your ankle. A bit more of a kick than anything, but Mane has to be a little bit careful with his challenges at the moment on a yellow card. Well, a couple of instances last season where he found himself in this kind of predicament. His enthusiasm does rather get the better of him, which is no consolation to the player who gets studs across the ankle. Looking for Mane again. Here we see again a lovely crossfield ball, and to reel out that volley, that cross volley, but fantastic save from Ward to get a fingertip on this and to guide that onto the bar. Fabulous save. Jurgen Klopp has made it clear that he sees a three-way fight for the Liverpool goalkeeper's jersey this season between Boris Karius, Simon Mignolet and Danny Ward, who was a star of Huddersfield Town's promotion campaign last season. Huddersfield wanted to keep him for another year, but Klopp wanted him back at Anfield to contest the #1 jersey. He has been suffering with a minor back injury during the pre-season, so this is the first time that the 6'4" Welsh international has figured. Play a couple of Premier League games for Klopp in spring of last year. Run by Flanagan, but it runs kindly for Thomas Partey. They need to see as the evening wears on how many of his other senior players Jurgen Klopp is prepared to risk in search of a result. He has said that Philippe Coutinho and Mo Salah will not figure at all tonight, along with Dejan Lovren and Alberto Moreno. They have already been told they've got the night off. Daniel Sturridge is not stripped because of the injury picked up last night. Correa. Vieto beaten to it. Here's Woodburn. Mane. Solanke. It's outnumbered. Liverpool have to pick their times to press against a team like this. There's no point in just using up energy senselessly. No, you can fall into that trap. You can get a little bit restless. You go 1-0 down, you go chasing it, and all of a sudden you kind of burn yourself out. It's important they keep their shape, stick to the game plan. It's going to be difficult. You know, the second game in succession, you've got to be smart. And when you press together, Wijnaldum tossed into the path of Flanagan. Big season ahead of John Flanagan, who's had so much bad luck with injuries. He was left back in the team that almost won the title 3 years ago for Liverpool. Careful. Back in the play area. It's like those seats on Ant and Deck's Saturday night takeaway that you can win. When you think that this family have won some kind of competition to be able to bring the kids' bedroom to the touchline.
It's a first for me.
Well, I'm not sure it'll catch on. That's what you call safe standing on the bed. Klavan. A bit aimless that. He ran out of patience.
Yeah, hopeful ball from Klavan. He doesn't need to give away possession. They're far better off just moving the ball and waiting for the right moment to make a more decisive pass.
Solanke. Milner. It has been given. It's a little disjointed this evening, Liverpool. Understandably, in terms of the number of changes and unfamiliar places, one or two of them in slightly unfamiliar positions. Training sessions and the training regime will have been far more demanding than during the season, during this pre-season period. Gomez's challenge wasn't the best. The referee might bring it back for a free kick even though there's an offside. One or two of the players might be feeling a little leggy, a little leg weary.
It's definitely the case at this time of year. You're trying to get the mileage into your body. You know, so you've got to bear it in mind with these matches. You want to see quality and you want to see high tempo play, but your main objective is to get as many game minutes and kilometres of match play into your body to prepare you for a league season, and that is the main objective.
3 yellow cards now for Liverpool. It's Gomez's foul. It's the last action of a half in which Liverpool have had more of the game without creating too much in the way of clear-cut opportunities, and where, despite one outstanding save from Danny Ward, Atletico Madrid through Vasilico's cross and Katie Barre's finish have managed to produce the crucial moment of the first half. We'll have the thoughts of Paul Ince and Robbie Fowler with Jackie in just a moment. At half-time in Munich, it's Atletico Madrid 1, Liverpool 0.
Brushes?
We need some of those.
Stripper?
Yep. Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
Introducing the Renault crossover range, featuring the all-new Koleos, Renault Kadjar and new Captur. Renault crossover range, now with 3 years 0% APR representative and 2 years free servicing.
It's not another 18-blade razor promising the shaviest shave ever. Because this is One Blade, a blade for beards and stubble. Go against the grain. Be your best you with Philips One Blade. Innovation and you. Philips. Save 1/3 at Argos.
Lisa,
You're on EE, so you're being upgraded to EE Class, where we will be cruising at an altitude of 6 free months of Apple Music. Just our way of showing you the love.
Can I get free Apple Music too?
Of course, Duncan. And when you stream or download all those banging tunes, the data's on us.
Shaken or stirred, sir?
Just give me a little mix. You got the music and the data, but buckle up. There's a storm. Z coming!
You're getting way too big for your boots.
EE customers get 6 free months of Apple Music.
Your hands can do incredible things. They can put a smile on a friend's face, turn broken into brand new. They can turn beads into something beautiful. And now your hands can turn your idea into a reality when you build a website with GoDaddy Website Builder. Just type in your idea, select a design, connect your site to your social media, then publish your site, even from your mobile phone. Start for free at GoDaddy.
Are you totally ready to catch an eye? For sparks to fly? For Mr. Right? Colgate Total fights bacteria on teeth, tongue, cheeks and gums for 12 hours, so you can be totally confident of a healthier mouth.
Sorry, folks. Looks like we're stuck here for a while.
Colgate Total. Be totally ready for life.
Introducing new Control GX, the shampoo that reduces grey gradually. The more you shampoo, the less grey you have. Control GX from Just for Men.
Your odds from William Hill lets you create and bet on your own markets. Tweet us direct from the William Hill app or from Twitter, and we'll reply with the odds. Join over 200,000 Your Odds customers, a few familiar faces, and view their markets. Spot something you like, one click, it's in your bet slip, and you're on. Your Odds from William Hill.
At Dreams, for this week only, you can save up to a massive 60% on a choice of comfortable mattresses and stylish bed frames in the Dreams price drop. And there's even free delivery. But hurry, up to 60% off in the Dreams price drop must end Sunday. That's what dreams are made of.
The lion spends more than 18 hours a day relaxing. And when their minds and bodies are fully recharged, it's time for action. Relax into greatness. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
With Expedia, you can book your flights, hotel, car hire and activities all in one place.
It's all protected.
Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
Augusto Fernandez. Salaco still forward. It's a good cross and a really good save by Ward, but he can't keep out the second effort.
Well, this time last night, Liverpool were 2-0 up and flying against the mighty Bayern Munich. Very different lineup tonight, and a very different performance, and a different half-time scoreline.
Yeah.
What's gone wrong?
Well, quite simply, it's just a defending from Atletico. You know, they're getting so many men behind the ball. We said before the game what would happen. Liverpool, for me, just need to move the ball quicker. I think whenever you play against a defensive-minded team like Atletico, I think it's important that you get the width. You know, the players have got to be, you know, hug the touchlines. You know, try and force players out of positions. If you do that, you know, there's an easier way of maybe getting the ball. But at the minute, you know, defensively, Madrid look rock solid.
Yeah, and very comfortable against, as we said, a much changed side. But what about the defending for the goal?
I mean, it wasn't great, was it? You know, as we've seen this afternoon, that, you know, defensive, you know, the reaction, people are not reacting, and then it's costing them goals. This is Milner going for a header. Clavan doesn't come across quick enough. They do well to get back in a few numbers here, but as it comes back out, I believe Milner should probably be 2 yards in front of the centre-halves. He doesn't. Look at the centre-forward, one into the box, not even aware that he's here, Clavan. You know, sit from here. Milner, if he steps up 2 yards, he plays him offside. Then you're looking for your two centre-halves. Once that ball goes over Milner's head. Those two centre-halves have got to make sure they get into that space, in that 6-yard box. They don't, as again, they idle and they're 1-0 down. It's poor defending, it's lack of discipline, it's lack of desire to get in and stop a goal. And Klopp would be desperately disappointed about that.
The desire from the forwards, obviously, there. But, you know, as a defender, you need to have that desire to get back and clear it. Clavan, maybe, when he was forcing the forward away from the goal, maybe he thought the job was done. The ball gets played out to the wide. And it's probably his body position's all wrong. He's probably not expecting the lad to run in. He just, you know, he doesn't react. And even when, you know, the lad has a shot, keeper saves it, great save. You know, the two defenders, Gomez, you know, let's not let him get away with it as well. Both of them are just stand still, and, you know, it's a relatively easy header for them.
We were waxing lyrical last night, weren't we, about the forward players of Liverpool. The first choice starting lineup, in fairness. Slim pickings, though, for the forward line tonight.
Yeah, I think listen, it's a deeply different side, you know, different personnel, you know. That's the only way they're going to score me for Liverpool, is by getting balls into the box. I mean, when you look at, Robbie was talking about the block that Madrid are putting up in front of them. You know, if you're going to get down the side, you've got to have wingers who are going to put balls into the box. They'll probably put 1 or 2 balls into the box and cause some trouble. You haven't got the team that played yesterday. You haven't got the rotation. It's another great chance, just past the post. But it's crumbs. There's nothing, you know, tangible that says, you know, they're creating very good chances. And I look at the side, when you've got the 4 that played last night, you know, they can get in the little holes, they can get between the blocks. This team haven't got the talent to do that, and it's going to be tough for them to get the goal back. Yeah, and you mentioned before the game, Robbie, about how much more difficult it is for Liverpool to play against compact sides, and you kind of predicted what was going to happen tonight. Yeah, I think it was just obvious. I think what they've got to do now is, you know, you look how defensively solid they are. And Liverpool don't do enough of it. You know, sometimes you want to walk into the box. You know, Liverpool are playing with a big 6'1" centre forward. Sometimes you have to get wide and just get the ball into the box. You know, not everything has got to be perfect. You know, we see how quick the Atletico Madrid players are around the ball. You know, they end up breaking away. You know, and sort of, you know, sense the danger. They break away and they you know, they force the foul. OK, well, Liverpool 1-0 down at the break at the Allianz Arena against Atletico Madrid. Jurgen Klopp and Diego Simeone. Very different team talks at half-time, but we'll see how Liverpool react when we come back.
Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
Get the long chili cheeseburger with free fries for only $1.99. 2 flame grilled burgers, melted cheese, fiery jalapenos and chili cheese sauce with free fries for only $1.99. Only at Burger King.
J'ai besoin de plancher à chaudière. Elle est où?
À la cave.
Je vais plonger, ça va marcher là.
Lisa, you're on EE, so you're being upgraded to EE Class, where we will be cruising at an altitude of 6 free months of Apple Music. Just our way of showing you the love.
Can I get free Apple Music too?
Of course, Duncan. And when you stream or download all those banging tunes, the data's on us.
Shaken or stirred, sir?
Just give it a little mix.
You got the music and the data, but buckle up. There's a storm.
Z coming!
You're getting way too big for your boots.
EE customers get 6 free months of Apple Music.
It doesn't matter where in Britain you live. Things, people, places, they're all moving forward, all the time. We're all busy making progress. far we've come can't always be measured in miles. But from one generation to the next, you never stop heading that one. Introducing all-new Ford Fiesta. Together, we go further.
So he finally sold the house. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm really pleased.
Did you use purple bricks?
Why would I? They're just online.
No, they're proper estate agents. Real people. You just don't pay commission.
No commission?
No.
Ah, commisery. The misery you feel when you spent thousands on commission but got nothing more for your money. Save yourself from commisery at purplebricks.co.uk.
We're in Uganda. I don't know where, though.
Men's hair takes on a lot. New Head & Shoulders Men Ultra Collection is up to the challenge. Our formula with high performance booster gives you up to 100% flake-free, great-looking hair. New Head & Shoulders Men Ultra Collection, designed for men.
It's not another 18-blade razor promising the shaviest shave ever. Because this is One Blade, a blade for beards and stubble. Go against the grain. Be your best you with Philips One Blade. Innovation and you. Philips. Save 1/3 at Boots.
Paintbrush, paintbrush, paintbrush. Ah, thank you.
Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
Turning my heartbeat up, ooh-wee, turning my heartbeat up. I keep on telling you, you're turning my heartbeat up, baby. Turning it up, baby. It's getting louder, it's getting louder. I feel it burning up, I'm getting hotter.
Our coverage of the Qatar Goodwood Festival continues tomorrow and every day at 1:30 on ITV, culminating on Saturday with the Qatar Stewards Cup. Oh, tonight in Munich, you can tell we're in Munich, Liverpool are trailing Atletico Madrid by a 1-0 in the final of the Audi Cup. We're hearing there are several changes at the start of the second half. A lot of players will be playing 2 games in 2 days, but I remember Mark Hughes telling me last year how he once played 2 games in 1 day. He played a full 90 minutes for Wales in Czechoslovakia, flew in an aeroplane to Germany and played the second half of Bayern Munich's game against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Cup.
It's been a few players. I remember John Walk doing the same. He played in the afternoon for Ipswich, and then he was on the telly in Escapes of Victory in the night. So.
Oh, you've had us going for a while.
I'm here all week. I think it's important. Look, the players. I mean, Liverpool haven't been great first half. Let's put it that way. I think they need to be a little bit more dynamic going forward. We said it yesterday. Give them a lot of praise. I think the players need to back themselves and try and commit defenders into making mistakes. Drive at them. Force them to make mistakes. Drag them out of positions. And if you start doing that, then it creates space behind where defenders try and cover. Ryan Kent, I mean, I don't know if he's going to come on, but in fact he is. I think he'll come on. And look, he was impressive when he came on yesterday. You know what you're going to get with him. He will commit defenders, and he's probably an important game for him now.
Yeah, 6 changes and need of dynamism both up front and in defence.
Yeah, they do. And I think when you look, sometimes when you make changes, you think, oh, you're making changes from a fitness point of view. I look at the changes that Klopp's making, and he wants to win this game. Firmino's coming on, as I said, Kent, who did ever so well yesterday. Matic is coming at the back. So he's trying to win this game. He's not just making changes for change's sake.
OK, well, let's hear it all about those changes with Clive Tilsley, who's alongside Matthew Upson.
Diego Simeone is probably going to stick with what he's got, simply because he has changed his entire lineup this evening. He didn't make any changes until the 65th minute of last night's game, but Liverpool have now got Jordan Henderson captaining the team. We are going to take another look at Ryan Kent, 20 years of age. He made a real impact from the right-hand side in the last 25 minutes against Bayern. His run set up the Grujic goal that never was. And we're going to see, probably most interestingly, Andrew Robertson coming on at left back. Liverpool's latest signing. He just had 45 minutes in the win in Berlin on Saturday. Kent's going to play from this right-hand side again. We're going to get another look at Marko Grujic. So the 6 changes are Henderson, Kent, Firmino, Robertson, Matip and Grujic. Here's one of the survivors, Gini Wijnaldum. Here is Marko Grujic, Serbian international. And Kent. He's a little too quick to make an impact, but there's the presence of mind to win the ball back. Joe Gomez has now switched to right back, which is a position that Liverpool have taken a look at him in during this pre-season period already. It doesn't look as if Nathaniel Klein has got much chance of being fit for the opening games of the season, so there's quite a bit of competition at right back with Trent Alexander-Arnold making an impact. Here's Solanke. Now Kent. Henderson into Solanke, who's gathered that in well. And the shot is well blocked by Lucas Hernandez.
Fabulous first touch from Solanke. I mean, it's very difficult to take the pace off the ball here as it's bouncing into it as you're on the run, but a fantastic soft touch and good defending in the end to react on his touch and get a block in.
Matip and Klavan are in there. It's taken by Kent and it's right under the crossbar. This wouldn't come for Ragnar Klavan. Scrambled away by the Atletico defence. But a statement of intent as much as anything from Jurgen Klopp, just to try to lift the tempo and the intensity of the Liverpool performance.
It makes sense given the end of the first half. Started to look a little bit flat. That injection of fresh legs will hopefully give Liverpool a bit of a boost and a raise of tempo, like you said.
Grujic winning the ball for Solanke, and here's Kent. Not quite come for Solanke. Thomas saw to that. Kent being penalised, but he is an all-action sort of winger, and he's been heavily involved in these first 2.5 minutes of the second half. I think the feeling is that he may go off to one of several championship clubs who are keen on taking him on loan. He was very good at Barnsley last season. Firmino's on that left-hand side now. There's Robertson. Just come for Sergi, the left back, but it was a fine interception that by the referee Felix Brick. Liverpool needed it.
Great defending in the end. They were in a little bit of trouble. The left back had made a really good run forwards, and I'm not sure if Gomez had seen him, so it's a good job the referee did.
We moan when they're always miles away from the ball, so we can hardly complain when it hits them. Chance just Grujic and Wijnaldum just either side of Henderson, who's here now in the central role in that three-man midfield. Here's Robertson, who is naturally left-footed and naturally attack-minded.
Got quite a few decisions and options for fullback Jurgen Klopp at the moment. You know, for that first Premier League game and moving forwards from there, he's got 2 or 3 in each position that are kind of challenging, but no one's maybe nailing it down so far.
Manchester City got 22 in each position. With Kent. Cloven. Gomez has got a bad bobble, I think, as much as anything there. Firmino can't quite keep it in. Atletico are probably a week or so behind Liverpool in terms of their preparations for a Spanish league season that starts on the 19th. So it's only their third public match of the pre-season. Third place in La Liga last season carries them directly into the Champions League group stages in September. Free kick to Atletico. It's their 5th successive year in the main competition, but they haven't actually won a major trophy now for 3 years. Been to 2 Champions League finals and 3 semis in the last 4 seasons. They're just what they are now is a seasoned squad, streetwise. And this is very much their shadow team that Liverpool are facing. And there is the first team. Griezmann with the ridiculously bleached hair. Still a lot of speculation about Barcelona and him, with the Neymar deal now set to go through. Bad news for both Atletico and Liverpool, with the names of Coutinho and Griezmann in the headlines, the rumour columns. Jimenez. Salico. Robertson standing his ground. Grujic. Firmino to Matip. Now to Grujic. It's just beyond Kent. It's a sharp pass and he just couldn't quite reel it in.
Nice patient build-up from Liverpool there. I think they need to keep the tempo as high as they can if they want to get something out of this game. Atletico are happy, controlling it, fast, slow the pace down, get bodies back in, get their shape, and when you see Liverpool all of a sudden speed it up, you feel they've got a chance of breaking through.
It's good work by Firmino. Solanke just a little unkind with the bounce of the ball. Thomas alert. That's it, first on the pitch of the ball, but just couldn't control the steer forward. It's well won again. And was found Firmino. A bit of a breakdown in communications with Robertson. I'm not sure it was the left back's fault, actually. Atletico's way. Won by Vieto. Salako. He's forced the issue down that right-hand side. He forced his way into the team last season before picking up an injury. Got ahead of Juan Fran in the pecking order, the Croatian international, Qiwi Salako. He's won this corner.
See how the new additions cope with the set pieces.
Turned away by Solanke, who will be a useful addition to Liverpool's aerial defences. Kent was caught painfully. And a yellow card for Sergi, the young left back. Stinger.
Just got his foot out of the ground in time there. I think if any more weight was planted on that, that's when they can end up a bad injury.
Gomez, Grujic, Henderson, now Klavan. Gomez is forward and he did well in the air. Which is holding on to Augusto Fernandez. Thomas. Vieto. Salako getting forward again, although the decision has gone Liverpool's way this time. Felipe Luis, Gavi and Griezmann. Tried his luck a little bit there. Grujic got Gomez in a good position. Just let the ball run a little too far and he couldn't wrap his foot around it.
He was never going to dig that ball out from the angle it was going at. He just didn't quite get enough purchase on his first touch, and when you're running slightly away from goal, to be able to wrap your foot around that and get it into the box is a very difficult skill.
Is at this point that the director here, the German television, feels that you'd like to see some of the cars outside the stadium. Well, how about we look at some of the players inside the stadium? That's a better idea. Felipe Luis will come on at left back for Sergi. Griezmann for Vieto in front. Augusto Fernandez is on his way back from injury. Make way for the familiar figure of the Atletico captain, Gabi. It's Correa actually has gone off at front for Griezmann. Vieto's still out there. In fact, it's Katie Barry, isn't it? The goal scorer.
Getting close to that hour mark now, and tiredness is going to set in. It's going to be a challenge this last half an hour for Liverpool to be able to raise it and try and get something out of the match.
Yeah, there's been a bit more eagerness about them since the break. The substitutions have freshened up their act. Salako underway by Klavan. They just played the 47 games last season, which was 18 fewer than the number they played the previous season, 2015-16, when they did reach 2 cup finals, remember. They were significantly understaffed last January when Jurgen Klopp blooded the kids in the FA Cup. Griezmann just unable to link up with Vieto. Gomez sees to that. Kep won't catch it. Players like Gomez and Woodburn and Alexander-Arnold are probably better for the experience now, but Liverpool's resources were severely stretched by what was a less than severe fixture list, in truth. Solanke didn't play through Atletico. Kent needs to be more precise than that. Griezmann to Vieto. Well won by Firmino.
I mean, Matip was only probably 40 yards away from the Atletico goal there with the ball and not a lot of pressure on him. So being able to thread those passes and find that space is very, very difficult.
Grujic. Come for Kent, and Solanke being held on the edge of the penalty area. Wasn't going down looking. Robertson. Complete fresh air shot. Oh, in fact, he must have got a touch on it, Jimenez, because it's gone for corner. He didn't clear it.
Robertson does everything he needs to do here. He puts the ball in the area where he knows there can be danger, and when it's bouncing like that, it's very difficult to cope with. And I think it was Jimenez got a little bit lucky. He didn't just slice that into his own net.
2 more changes. I didn't expect to see Divock Origi this evening. This is Ovie Ejaria. Solanke coming off to be replaced by Origi, who's been nursing an injury. Firmino trying to get involved. Moya doing just about enough. Origi couldn't quite bring it down. Little vulnerable to the counter with Angel Correa on the ball, and it needed that from Klavan.
Lovely footwork from Correa.
Klavan did what he had to do. Picks up a yellow card for it quite correctly.
Great little spin and footwork from him. The ball was bouncing. He didn't rush it. Let the ball run across his body. Really good, clever play. To Felipe Luis.
Presented back to Gomez. Henderson. Jaria. Grujic to Henderson. Glanced on by Origi, but Robertson can't quite make anything of it. The fact that he's been used sparingly so far suggests to me that James Milner may well be Liverpool's option at left back for the opening games of the season. At least Moreno pushed his case last night, but we perhaps expected to see a bit more of Andrew Robertson.
I think the point you made earlier about Arnold maybe slotting into that first game will have a lot to do with that. To put two fullbacks in who are relatively inexperienced in the Premier League may be a concern for Jurgen Klopp, and we know that James Milner's a safe pair of hands.
Yeah, Alexander-Arnold would appear to be the favourite to start at right back at Watford on Saturday week, with Nathaniel Klein out of action. Jaria. Just unable to find Firmino.
Just again how Madrid are just condensing the pitch so much. You know, they've probably got the back four, midfield and strikers all within 20-30 yards of each other.
But this could be a reenactment of certainly half a dozen Anfield games last season, when Liverpool had possession and pressure without really creating chances, and dropped some critical home points as a result.
It's that ability to play against different styles and situations that really bring you success over a league season.
Thomas. We're finding Griezmann, who finds Vasalako. Along towards Origi. Well, he's won the throw-in at least. Midpoint of the second half, Liverpool trailing to a goal scored just after the half-hour mark in the match. A match that's been played very much to this pattern, despite the constant changes of personnel. Firmino. Jaria. Robinson. Firmino. Henderson. That's it. It's flicked on towards Origi. Firmino felt that Origi was impeded. Felix Brick didn't.
Lovely idea there from Liverpool. You know, one way of breaking down a tight system like that is to clip that ball. It's a lovely touch from Firmino, and clever defending in the end. You can't call it a foul, but he uses his body so well just to block the run. Just gets his body across. He's level, so if he's slightly behind, it can look like a penalty. But if you're level, it's just a bump of shoulders, and does enough to put Origi off.
The sort of moment that a centre-back like Matthew Upson fouls under good defending. Vasalako. Forward towards Vietzo. Wood's done nothing wrong for Liverpool tonight. He's very unlucky with the goal. Henderson to Ajaria. Marvin. Robertson. Linking with Firmino. Firmino stepping in towards the dead ball line. Robertson squeezing in across, which wins a corner. Has played 2 of the last 3 seasons in the Premier League, albeit in relegation campaigns. Andrew Robertson with Hull, so he's got experience at the top level. Atletico caught out. Robertson able to make the most of it.
It's interesting to watch Atletico defend there. Just the ball gets set back and there's hardly any movement to get out of the box. They're all very comfortable in their positions. They know their role. You know, a lot of people would say that's too deep to be in there and you need to get out of the box a bit more, but they just seem to be happy to sit there and soak up the pressure at times.
Team with far and away the best defensive record in Spain's La Liga last season. Jaria. It's a good little 20-minute examination this now of Liverpool's ability to find a cutting edge, and they'll feel that they can get one, they might get another. Henderson, that's a better pass into Firmino. Didn't have quite as much time as he'd hoped. Has won the ball back.
But they are exactly the passes that Liverpool need at the moment. They need that pass that's going to break a line, that's going to take 2 or 3 Atletico players out of the game in order to make something happen.
Firmino again. It's a more delicate pass. He might run for Origi. A finesse pass from Firmino to get absolutely right. Well, here comes Fernando Torres. To line up against his former club. We're going to see Stefan Savic, and we're going to see Nico Gaitan and one of the youngsters, Amat Ndai, who's just turned 21 last month. Juan Fran too. So 5 more changes now for Atletico. It's good that the changes are being made in rafts rather than one at a time. Helps keep some momentum in the game. But fitness and conditioning really is the priority for both coaches.
Probably makes life a little bit easier for you as well, but
yeah, I like to learn about 38 players on each squad for every match if possible. Well, Fernando Torres was an Atletico Madrid player when Liverpool came for him in 2007. He left just over 4 years later, 81 goals later. An Anfield legend. So what Liverpool fans there are in the stadium will certainly give him a warm welcome onto the field now. We're going to see Trent Alexander-Arnold in these last 17-18 minutes to the Liverpool number 66. But, Torres, who is now 33 years of age. He's just signed a 1-year contract extension in the last month with Atletico. Particularly important to them at the moment because Kevin Gamiro is injured, and there's a feeling that Diego Costa may be heading to Milan rather than Madrid. And Torres is with Griezmann, the main forward, fit forward. The start of the Spanish season approaching. Robertson. Firmino, that's a clever flick. Grujic. It's a decent effort that, or decent opening at least for Marco Grujic.
Lovely flick. Firmino, just see Grujic just leaning back there, didn't quite get up close enough to the ball with his standing foot, caused him to lean back. And when you lean back and strike the ball like that, there's generally only one thing that's going to happen. It's going to go over the bar, so it's a shame he couldn't convert that chance. It was a lovely flick from Firmino.
He was unlucky to have a goal disallowed here last night against Bayern, with goalie slotted nicely off the post. Only for Adam Lallana rather belatedly to be flagged offside. Alexander-Arnold's foul. Klavan seeing a lot of the ball, almost as if Atletico are happy for him to have it. Robertson, Ajaria, slipped into Origi. Origi shot. Well, at least it is a shot.
Another good pass where it's broken line. Nice footwork from Origi. Threw a bit of a dummy, turned inside, and nice strike, but just dragged it a little bit, hoping just to kind of hook it inside that near post. Better from Liverpool though, but the passing, there's one or two passes there that have been a bit more decisive and a bit more positive.
Mainly from Firmino, I think. Luis. One front. Can't be there just to settle things down. Gaitan. Disguise on that pass. Full Torres anyway.
Lovely play from Atletico. Great midfield play, lots of passing, movement, disguise. Just a little bit too much, like you say.
Torres finding Thomas. Juan Fran. Ran away from Mamat. That was a foul. Kent by Felipe Luis. We've got a season of bedding into a new stadium coming up, Atletico, Metropolitano. Good half hour's drive across the city from the Vicente Calderon to their home for the last 50 years. So like Liverpool last season, they'll start with a series of away games while they finishing touches are put to their new home. Grujic. Origi. And he's flagged. So one or two glimpses of daylight for Liverpool now.
It's a shame for Origi. He really tries to hold the line, to be fair to him. He identifies the position he's in. He just can't get back enough onside.
Henderson to Ajaria. Grujic inviting Robertson to get forward. Ajaria. Grujic. Now Kent. Challenged by Felipe Luis is judged a fair one.
He just got enough of the ball there.
It's a rather extravagant flick by Torres, presenting the ball back to Liverpool, but they haven't made best use of it. Firmino. Met strongly by Jimenez. And away against Klavan. Klavan wins out. Henderson finds Grujic. Nicely flighted Divock Origi. Support from Ajaria. Now Firmino. Dinked in towards Kent. Felipe Luis just grew enough. Good defending that. Backpedaling.
Great positioning from Felipe Luis. Really good full-back play. Just gets himself in the right position, but close enough to deal with that ball, and it makes all the difference, because it's very easy to get dragged underneath that pass in that situation, but uses all his experience there.
Griezmann losing the ball, but it's tidied up by Lucas. Simeone still demanding on the touchline. He delivered the quote of the tournament in his press conference last night. "I don't understand friendlies," he said, as he excused Godin's red card in last night's game. No such thing. Grujic with the cross. Here's Origi. Oh, he was looking for a penalty, and he's got it. He might just have been caught the first time. The second time it looked like a dive, didn't it? But Felix Brick, Champions League referee this year, was well positioned, pointed to the spot, and Liverpool have got a chance to equalise from the spot.
Really good cutback from Grujic, who I've been very impressed with since he's come on. There's not a lot of contact there. I mean, just catches his foot there, which in theory I would say is probably enough contact to draw the penalty. It's just a little bit of a delayed response from Origi. He puts his weight down on his left foot and then all of a sudden decides that he needs to go down. But the contact was there, but it wasn't enough to send him down. But sometimes it doesn't matter.
I have to disagree on one thing, Matthew. A little bit. Gavi caught him, though. He did clip him. And about 30 seconds later, Origi was on the ground.
Just a slight delay.
Roberto Firmino from the spot. 1-1. And Liverpool, who won the Asia Trophy in Hong Kong last month, haven't given up on the Audi Cup here. If it is 1-1 after 90 minutes, a penalty shootout will decide the final. Firmino trying to force it forward to Origi. Felipe Luis. Just to reiterate, there will not be extra time, whatever the final scoreline. Here's the goal scorer. Firmino might not need extra time. Lashed away by Gavi. One back by Klavan. Away by Savage. Juan Fran. Gavi. Felipe Luis. Fernando Torres. He's still playing for Liverpool. Henderson to Alexander-Arnold. Now goes Jimenez. Savage is going forward. So is Lucas Hernandez, the other centre-back. Gavi, though, has played it short here to Gaitan. Liverpool caught out a little bit. And they've got a corner to defend now. Gaitan takes. By Klavan. This is Felipe Luis. Grujic who gets it away. Big guy, Marko Grujic. Strong player.
He's done well since he's come on. Showed some really good range of passing. A couple of one-touch passes as well. Executed them really well. Good vision. And a nice cutback for the penalty.
And that's it with a very cute header back to Ward. Mistake by Felipe Luis. Here is Grujic. Robertson. Jaria. A bit of a breakdown in communications with Ryan Kent there. One front here who hit a post with a penalty, which cost Atletico the Champions League final. He'll be delighted if he gets volunteered. Fernando Torres has missed one in a Champions League semi-final on this ground. Here's Felipe Luis towards Antoine Griezmann. His penalty-taking record's a bit checkered too. It's a corner. Gaetan will take it. Oh, there's a good save in the end by Ken. Lucas Hernandez it was who flicked it goalwards. Liverpool's headaches defending corners. Return.
Clever movement, just coming off his marker there and stepping across in front.
Gaetan again. And Liverpool haven't really defended it again. And it's hooked goalwards and just hooked over by Stefan Savic. Lucas again. As he who forced the initial save from Ward. Savic over.
Hard to keep that down when the ball's so high in the air. To get over the top of that and get that under the crossbar is difficult. I suppose in many ways a penalty shootout for both managers is a good exercise. You know, it might not be the most intensive pressure, but it's still a tournament and pressure for the players to have to convert their penalty under.
Griezmann here missed one, didn't he, in the course of that final, last year's final rather than last season's. Robertson. Fairly safe since coming on. He is just easing his way into his Liverpool career. He's more of a swashbuckling left back than we've seen from him so far this evening. Firmino into the path of Kent. Struck first time. Robertson certainly let go that time.
Just opened up for him a little bit. He found himself inside the pitch, Robertson, and thought, why not have a pop? And it's a decent strike, but very difficult with your left foot to kind of bend it into that side of the goal.
So the final action of football for the evening will usher forward a penalty shootout, a late penalty both in the way that it was won and the lateness of the game from Roberto Firmino has given us a final score here of Atletico 1, Liverpool 1.
And we'll be back with Clive and Matthew for the penalty shootout very shortly. Paul Ince and Robbie Fowler with me in the studio. What do you make of that second half from Liverpool perspective in particular?
It was better. You know, he moved the ball around a little bit quicker. Probably got the deserved penalty or the deserved goal. Debatable whether it was a penalty. You know, it was a little bit of touch, but he seemed to take an age to go down. But yeah, it was a better second half from Liverpool.
Yeah, it was. I think obviously it's always tough when you make a certain amount of changes. You don't get that kind of fluidity in the team, and you know the first half for me wasn't the greatest, and the second half wasn't really much better, in all honesty. But as I said, you know, penalty itself, it was a pen, but you know, but he exaggerated with the dive, I thought. But when they got the goal, whether it's deserved or not, I don't know. But when they do play it quicker and they try to get in between the lines and they drag the block about, then they can create chances. When they play very slow and very methodical, you know, they're never going to break teams down. I know it wasn't the 4 that we spoke about yesterday, how quick they counter-attack teams. As Robbie said, when you're playing a team like Atletico Madrid, it's always hard to break them down, and you've got to have creativity, you know, and the cleverness about you. And I didn't see that today in Liverpool with the personal that they had on display. So, but all in all, as I said, it's down to penalties. It's a trophy. It's always nice to start a fit season winning the trophy. So hopefully Liverpool can win the shootout.
Yeah, and Clive and Matthew were saying about it being good practice at any stage to win a penalty shootout. Ideally, England supporters in particular would be noting whether any England players can score from the penalty spot.
What are you trying to say,
Jack?
Jack? What are you trying to say? Because I missed it.
I'm not sure whether...
I wasn't going to mention Argentina, by the way.
Argentina, that's what you're trying to say.
I'm not sure there's too many English players on the pitch who'll take a penalty, to be honest. I think we give Atletico a bit of credit. You know, yesterday we seen an 11 changes tonight, totally different team, totally different players. But it shows you how well drilled Simeone has his team. You know, whether it's the first 11 or the squad, you know, each to a man knows what they've got to do. You know, they made it hard for Liverpool. You know, forcing them, you know, to try and, you know, go out wide. You know, they were just defensive block. You know, as he was saying, I think they were excellent without being their first 11.
It's been a good pre-season for Liverpool. This would cap it off nicely, wouldn't it, a couple of weeks ago before the season ahead? I mean, how much of a difference would it make to actually get a trophy in your hands ahead of the season? Well,
it's always nice. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's a pre-season game or a proper game. You know, the fact is, you know, they've gone all around the world. You know, they're going to finish it now, you know, hopefully with a trophy in their hands. And it just builds confidence. You know, it was confident. You know, they've come away with something in a tournament that everybody expected Bayern Munich to win the trophy. And you know, Klopp will learn a lot today. You know, we'll learn a lot, but let's hopefully, you know, Liverpool can do the business and bring the trophy home.
OK, let's find out. Back to Clive.
Got to ask Matthew straight away. Any penalty shootout experiences you can tell us about?
Wasn't a huge contributor to penalty shootouts in my time.
No, then, is it?
Yes, it's a no.
Liverpool's last penalty shootouts were in that League Cup run of last year, 2016. Where's Joe Allen when you need him? Won the semi-final against Stoke at Anfield, and then things went wrong in the final against Manchester City, when only Emre Can was successful. Roberto Firmino here was one of the successes against Stoke, but Atletico Madrid played the Champions League final of 2016 in Milan against Real Madrid. Griezmann hit the bar with a penalty during the match, and then they lost that on penalties. Firmino first for Liverpool, and twice in the space of 10 minutes or so he's coolly found the net from the spot.
Didn't expect him to miss after the warm-up earlier, so he didn't disappoint. Nice penalty, corner, opposite corner this time, but roof of the net as well. Nice pen.
Now here is Antoine Griezmann, who missed a penalty in the final in 2016, but then scored the first in the shootout against Real Madrid. He was brave enough to step up again against Danny Ward for Liverpool. And Griezmann sends Ward the wrong way, and it's 1-1. Atletico are without their penalty-saving demon Jan Oblak, who's on the bench this evening. Miguel Angel Moya is their understudy goalkeeper, facing now Jordan Henderson, who came on to skipper Liverpool at half-time here this evening. And Henderson's is saved.
Not a great penalty from Jordan Henderson there. The height, quite central. Doesn't really quite, you know, go high or low or wide or straight. It's that area, you know, is an area for a goalkeeper where they're most comfortable saving, and that was right in the middle of it.
And Fernando Torres scored 80-odd goals for Liverpool. And now he's going to try and score one against them in the stadium where he missed in the Champions League semi-final of 2016. And just calmly down the middle. It takes some nerve or some cheek. 2-1 to Atletico.
It's amazing when you see there's not a massive amount of difference between that and Henderson's, but he decides to go dead straight, you know, which is always difficult for the goalkeeper if he decides to dive.
Yeah, Moya saved with the trailing leg. Unfortunately, the Liverpool keeper, Danny Ward, just missed it with his trailing leg. So Divock Origi with a little bit of pressure on now. Origi's penalty is good. 2 out of 3 for Liverpool. It's 2-2 in the shootout. Well placed. Here's Gabby, who well placed. Here's Gabby, who was one of the successful penalty takers in Milan last year. Scores for Atletico. They're 100% now. Liverpool needs something to happen, and quickly. Ward guessed right, but just couldn't quite stretch out to get anything on it.
It's a sign of a good penalty when the goalkeeper guesses the right way and doesn't get a touch.
Well, here's a bit of guts. Ryan Kent, 20 years of age, volunteers to take Liverpool's 4th penalty. And take it very coolly indeed. It's 3-3.
Never looked in doubt for me. Stepped up, very confident. Tucked it away nicely. A great experience and a great opportunity to put himself under pressure at such a young age.
He's an Oldham lad. And he's been with Liverpool since he was 7 years of age. And Ryan Kent's done his bit. But Nico Gaitan is now in a position to give Atletico match point. Things haven't gone all that well for him since he signed from Benfica a year ago. And Gaitan's penalty is in the roof of the net, just under the crossbar. You can say it's perfect now. And Liverpool have simply got to score their final penalty. No more room for manoeuvre. Marko Grujic has got to find the net to give Liverpool any hope. Not that the young players, just 21. He took it like an old one, like an old head.
Didn't look too confident, kind of placing the ball, took a couple of steps back and looked like he wanted to go and readjust it and then step back again and did this. And yeah, obviously very confident that the goalkeeper was going to move.
Yeah, I'm not sure that gently down the centre of the goal would have been my choice at that moment, but it works. And it's left to Felipe Luis now with the opportunity to settle the shootout. Danny Ward has got to come up with something here and stop this, or Atletico win the Audi Cup. And it is an Atletico success. 5 out of 5 from the penalty spot. Jordan Henderson's miss proves to be costly. It's all relative. Liverpool will hope that in months to come there'll be little reason to remember this particular night other than for the preparations that they've managed to complete ahead of the first big game of their season at Watford on Saturday week. But Jurgen Klopp, victorious in the Premier League's Asia Trophy last month, is a beaten finalist this time on penalties by Atletico Madrid in the Audi Cup here in Munich.
So no trophy for Liverpool, but plenty of talking points from the match tonight, and we'll reflect on them in just a moment with Paul Ince and Robbie Fowler when we come back.
Life.
Into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from